On the 7th of July 2005, 52 people lost their lives in a coordinated terrorist attack on the London transport network. Hundreds of other people were injured both physically and mentally. Unfortunately, the effect of COVID-19 on the free movement of people means that the usual gathering for remembrance cannot take place in the same way this year. So the small service permitted to take place in the park will once again be supplemented by a short film. Every year, people from all walks of life, different cultures, different countries come together to remember the tragic events of that day. For most, the feelings remain very real, whether they were relatives, partners, colleagues, or distant friends. We take time to remember the first responders on that day. Many were from the emergency services, yet there were also ordinary people doing extraordinary things to save life. We also remember those who were second responders, working in physical and mental health sectors around the world, trying to rebuild people's lives, sometimes over many years and even now today. We also acknowledge that there may still be others out there choosing to deal with their circumstances in their own personal way, quietly getting on with their lives as best they can. We are one collective of people, however connected, who are all equally valued above any differences. For the next few minutes, you will hear from some about 7/7 and what it means to them. We thank them for their valuable contribution to this film and what was undoubtedly a difficult task. Thank you.
Hi, I hope you're all well. This is an important event, and first of all I'd like to thank the team that have worked so hard to put this event together. I know that to the 7/7 community at large, this event is important, so once again thank you. The other day, a friend of mine said to me that he realised we were coming up to a difficult time of the year and what a difficult day we would be having. Within a few moments though, he was back to his normal self and chatting away to me. And I remember thinking, I'm really cross because today is a hard day, but every day is a hard day for us, but we have to pretend that it isn't. But then I realised the rest of the world is back to being normal, and being normal is how it should be. Now, David was 22 and still lived at home with us. In fact, I'm in his bedroom now. But even so, he would speak to me every day on the phone, and we would have a chat about all sorts of just general day-to-day stuff. Although these days, I look back and feel how much I miss those days. I still speak to David every day. Perhaps I win a bit more of the debate than I used to, but I still speak to him every day. I know that David would agree that it is important that we return to normal after these attacks in London, and more attacks in London since, and of course Manchester where we live. Because by being normal, that is our strength, and it is our strength by being normal that we will not allow these evil people to take any advantage or gain any comfort or any success. So, whilst we lead hard days every day, it's very comforting to see that the rest of the country and the rest of the world are behaving normally, as it should be. So my thoughts are with you all on this day and every day. Take care.
The Edgware Road bomb is the one that I was injured in 16 years ago, and it really doesn't seem that long time ago. Sometimes time stands still, and certain memories will never fade. The sadness that I've got about those that travelled with me on that day that never made it home, I know is going to stay with me forever, and some things shouldn't be forgotten. 16 years on though, my feelings are a combination of gratitude towards those that have supported me in my recovery, combined with moments of despondency about the tragic loss of so many lives, not only in 7/7, but also in other incidents that have occurred. This is the very first anniversary where I've not had my husband in the background quietly supporting me. That's tough too. Steve became ill last year and unfortunately he died just before Christmas. For me, fear is one of the most destructive emotions, along with feeling isolated and alone. And the support that we receive and have received for the last 16 years from each other has been absolutely invaluable. I know so many people have been working really hard too, raising awareness of the sort of assistance that's helpful to us. It's tragic that COVID-19 arrived, and not only did that generate a new lot of fears, but it's also kept us apart, and in many cases alone, apart from the people that's in our bubble. All very necessary, but all very hard. So my message today to the 7-7 community, and equally to other people from other incidents, is very short and sweet. It's just thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for understanding and sharing so much over the years. Thanks also to the teams of people that work tirelessly to educate, inform and support people with various initiatives that are there to make the world a better place. There are people in the world that do bad things, but I also know for a fact that there are a lot more people doing really positive things, and that's what keeps me going. Hopefully it will keep all of you going as well. Thank you.
When the road gets dark and you can no longer see, just let my love throw a spark. Have a little faith in me. And when the tears you cry are all you can believe, just give these loving arms a try, baby, and have a little faith in me. 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 When your secret heart cannot speak so easily, come here, darling, from the whisper start, and have a little faith in me. And when your back's against the wall, just turn around and you will see I will catch you for, baby. Just have a little faith in me. 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 Have a little faith Oh, have a little faith in me.
Hello, I'm Jill Hicks, and it is wonderful to be able to join us as we all mark this rather important anniversary. 16 years since the London bombings in 2005. It's funny, isn't it, as we mark or as we approach a date of such significance for us all. I know for me, I often think about what each year passing means. And I've come to rest with an idea that I will not recover from this event. I lost both of my legs as a result of my injuries from the bomb blast. So even physically, I will not recover. So for me, as time passes, I guess it's just more of a appreciation of adapting to a life that I have to make anew, of creating my new existence each and every single day. And, you know, times get tough and times are often challenging. And I've reflected again on this during our shared time of pandemic, that we've all had to face changes and challenges and really tough times. But in a sense of all of that, there is this idea that we are creating a new life, a new way of being. For me, at the core and centre of all of my understanding of creating my new life and getting to this point of 16 years after the bomb blast has been really the role models that I've taken on board. And for me, that's all the people that were involved in my rescue, all the people that held my hand so tightly, that wrapped me in so much love, and that never ever gave up. I've taken on their attributes, I've lived by their code, and I've managed to find a way during these years, day after day, of feeling grateful rather than harbouring hatred, of feeling appreciative for every moment that I have. And that means some of the not so great moments. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I have a life. And I'm grateful that we have each other, that we have a community. And the threads that bind us don't just exist for that one morning, that Thursday morning in July. The threads that bind us are for life. And it's wonderful to know that even though we're physically apart, even though that we can't hold each other, that we can hold each other in another way. And that is by feeling supported, by feeling connected, and knowing that on this date every year, our primary thought is of each other. Our primary thought, every emotion, is for all of those who never came home. And for me, that's how I mark July the 7th. Grateful that I'm here, and thoughtful of all those that didn't come home.
Hello all. After 16 years on from 7/7, it's a long time, but it's still with us. Memories taken that day on my mind are the small things that I remember, some of the odd things I remember. If you asked me last week what I said to whom and where was I couldn't remember. But before it happened in Tavistock Square, I would just remember some of the small conversations. They're the odd things from that day that I remember as well. One conversation I always remember was a gentleman called Roger coming down, because I was a chef in Mowbray House Conference Centre. Roger came down and said, "Don't bother making your sandwiches. No one's coming in. There's problems with the tubes." And I just laughed at him and said, "I don't care. I'm going whatever. I ride a bicycle." Then we all know what happened. The rest is history. Anyway, for me, after 16 years on, it's still with us. I still have thoughts now and again, as we all do. It's still there, but with COVID, it makes it more difficult, because I do miss catching up with people. I miss the family. I miss people I haven't seen for a year. Each year since, I've always been to the memorial. I've always caught up with people, and I miss that on the day. I do miss the new friends we found through 7/7, the new connections that would never have been made, the goodness that comes out from that. In the early years when we got together and met in the pubs, I felt sorry for some of the other public round us, because they must have heard some of the conversations and wondered what we was all about. But after 16 years, they've moved on, we've moved on, and those conversations are much nicer. They're more everyday conversations, and it's really nice to have that with people where we share something that only us can understand what we're all going through. And the last year was no exception, and I missed not being there, and the same for this year, depending on the COVID regulations. The gathering of us all together was a help each year. It was nice to reaffirm friendship, reaffirm catching up with people, and hopefully next year we'll actually be able to get together properly. I don't know where I'll be this year on the 7th. I'm not sure yet what I want to do and where I'll be, if it's a online event again, but I will watch it at some point. But I do miss meeting and catching up with you all. I'm sure we all share that. I'm really not sure what to say, to be honest with you. It's been a long time, the 16 years, it's still with me. I still have moments on the day, as I'm sure we all do, but catching up with people, talking to people on the day, just catching up with people on the day really helped, just to catch up with people and see how everyone is and enjoy being together. I don't really have anything else I want to say or add to it. I did have a lot more prepared and I was trying to read from it, but I just sort of wandered completely off that, so I do apologise. Anyway, I wish you all well and look forward to actually meeting with you again. Thank you. Bye.
The names of those who died at 4 stations in London on the 7th of July 2005. At King's Cross and Russell Square, James Adams, Sam Badham, Lee Christopher Harris, Philip Beer, Anna Brandt, Kieran Cassidy, Rachelle Chung For Young, Liz Daplin, Arthur Frederick, Carolina Gluck, Gamze Gunoral, Ojara Ikiagwu, Emily Jenkins, Adrian Johnson, Helen Catherine Jones, Susan Levy, Shelley Mather, Michael Matsushita, James Mays, Benaz Mazaka, Mihaela Otto, Atiq Sharifi, Ihab Slimani, Christian Nijara Diawara Small, Monica Sukoka, Marla Trivedi. And at Tavistock Square, Anthony Fatai Williams, Jamie Gordon, Giles Vernon Hart, Marie Joanne Hartley, Miriam Hyman, Shahara Islam, Neetu Jain, Sam Lee, Shayanuja Nirashini Paratha Sangari, Anat Rosenberg, Philip Stewart Russell, William Wise, Gladys Wundoa. And at Aldgate, Lee Bastin, Benedetta Chacha, Richard Ellery, Richard Martin Gray, Anne Moffat, Fiona Stevenson, Carrie Taylor. And at Edgware Road, Michael Stanley Brewster, Jonathan Downey, David Fuchs, Colin Morley, Jennifer Vander Ann Nicholson, Laura Susan Webb.
I got wind beneath my wings. I think it's time. I'm gonna make it till morning. I got strength within my heart. I'm gonna sing for all the heroes who've fallen. Yeah, I'm gonna take the long way home. Yes, I'm gonna take the world by storm. We got magic in our bones, just like the stars. We're gonna shine bright and golden. We go bang down all the doors, make sure we take back all the things that were stolen. I'm gonna take the long way home. I'm gonna take the world by storm.
See, with the heart of a sparrow, tell me what arrow could ever bring you down. Yeah. Oh, the escape, it was narrow, but what a gift, the courage you found.
Say with the heart of the sparrow, tell me what arrow's gonna bring you down. Oh, the escape, it was narrow. What a gift of courage you have found. I got stars within my soul. I think the dust is gonna finally settle. Pure as rivers, strong as mountains, we spread love like the flowers